So it's a few days later, and in the meantime I managed to buy this package of coffee granules. I hope that's the correct word. And I took some hot water, about 400 milliliters. You don't have to use hot water, you can use cold water or just a little bit warm water. The only difference is that the coffee granules won't dissolve that quickly as it does with hot water. So I can't tell you the exact amount of coffee granules that I put in here. I guess it was, about 3 tablespoons. I already picked out some papers. These are just random white papers. Oops. These are collage cutouts. They are so cute. So I'm just putting in the papers one after the other. And as you can see here, I can still pour in some water. Wow, look at that. This is some paper that I find in shoe boxes, some sort of tissue paper. Let me put in some more water. And I still have not enough water. And I will now go on putting in pieces and just layering them. Wow, it's still not enough. Well, okay. Works, yes. You know, I don't want to waste a lot of water. Just enough so that it works. Yeah, that's perfect. A paper bag. And I don't mind if the coffee doesn't cover up the whole papers. I think it's beautiful if the patterns that you get from the dyeing process are some kind of irregular. So I let this soak now for, I don't know, approximately an hour. In the meantime, I put this tub aside so that I can work on my studio desk. So this bottle is empty. I have this always on my desk for spritzing water. And I have another one, this tiny one. And in the meantime, while the paper sits in the tub, I thought, why not create a page in my art journal that I'm currently mostly working in. I have some empty pages, but she is already junky, as you can see. I don't know, I think I should stop working in it, but kind of bugs me knowing that there are empty pages. I don't know. So, oh, recently I made these super simple collages and I just love them. I mean, it is kind of minimalistic, and if you know me, I can also work pretty maximalistic, where the whole spread is very, very busy and everything is covered up. So like this spread here. But I also love making these collages, or this is basically a cluster. I think clusters are perfect for those days when you don't have time, or where you don't feel like creating. So I don't have a plan. This speaks to me at the moment because there is already something on the page. This feels like it feels like I do have to put too much effort in this spread because it is all white. And here I already have a starting point. I guess these were acrylics, this pink. Here, the splatters on top, and the first layer was, I guess, the oxide sprays. Yes, these must have been the oxide sprays. No, not squeezed lemon. I guess it was mustard seed. I don't know. I can't tell you. But I sprayed those oxides as the first layer and then added on top the acrylic, the liquid acrylic ink. So let's do something with this page, I guess. Let me grab my stencils. So I'm honest, I don't use them very often. I should use them much more because I hate them. No, because I have them. I mean, I bought them. I should use them. Yeah, I think I want to go with kind of a bold pattern here. Oh, I love this one. I really love it. So simple. Yeah, but oh, those are my favorite, all-time favorite stencils that I have. This is a bundle by Get Messy Art. And I love those stars. Well, let's go with these eyes. Yes. Oops. So don't forget to clean your stencils right away when you use acrylics on them. I'm not good at cleaning my stuff, at least when it comes to the art materials. Okay, I dried it a little bit. I have this stencil that I made a while ago. This is a foam, did I just say stencil? This is a stamp. I have this foam stamp that I made a while ago, and I want to add some black contrast. So this gives me some 90s vibes. I don't know why. Think I want to push it into the background a little bit more again. So I have this packaging paper. And for gluing it down, I use my matte gel. I love using this. Wow. The acrylic paint is obviously not dry enough. Well, it doesn't matter. Actually, I love that you can see the black color underneath, because that way the paper melts beautifully into the page. No, didn't like this piece here. How about this one? That's too much, isn't it? I think I would now like to add some white gesso, or let me think about it, some vintage book pages would be nice, I think. I love combining vintage things with neon colors. So let me grab some maybe ledger paper. I love this one. Ooh. I feel like I mean, I don't know if you know what I mean, but sometimes you tear pieces and you just think this piece is, I don't know, not beautiful. I just don't like the pieces that I tear. No. Okay. As you can see, sometimes the mess is exactly what you want to get, but on this ledger paper, I didn't want to have black paint. So I have to clean this spatula. That's okay. I can live with that. Definitely needs a focal point. I pulled out this vintage tablecloth. But before I add the lace, I think I'm adding some gesso, because, you know, the gesso helps to blend the things a little bit. And since the gesso that I use here is a very, very cheap one, it is very thin. So it's perfect for that purpose. So let's add some color. I think, how about some black acrylic ink? So, to be honest, this is the first time ever that I made this. I don't know why I did this, but when I grabbed this ink here, my intention was to make some splatters just by dripping some inks onto the page with this thing here. How is it called? I don't know. But suddenly I just wrote these words. And if you know my pages, I usually never write words. I glue down some sentiments that I cut out, that I write with my vintage typewriter, but I never do this. I don't know how that came, but you witnessed a premiere. Is that the right word in English? You witnessed a first time moment. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. Do I like this here and there? Don't know. I think I want to use my sewing machine somehow. Okay, I ran a piece of scrap paper and a piece of this lace or this tablecloth through my sewing machine. Did some messy stitching. I think I will add this one here. And I cut out this beautiful butterfly that I will add on top of this cluster. And I think I'm finished with this spread. What do you think? I think I really should do this with the handwriting more often. It's, I mean, somehow totally surprising how things evolve when you sit down and you just start. I think it's also due to the fact that I don't have a goal when I sit down and when I open my art journal. I just start creating and I'm taking one step after the other. I have no plan, I have no vision in my mind what I want to have as a result. So yeah, I think this is the perfect way for me to create. So here we are back at the coffee dyed papers. They now soaked for approximately an hour or so. 45 minutes approximately, and now I can just take them out of the tub. I have this old bed sheet here where obviously I always dye my papers or let them dry. This is a mixture of mostly coffee and rust water here on the bed sheet. And now I'm just putting this whole stack onto the bed sheet. And I let these papers now dry as they are. I don't lay them down individually because when you let them dry like so, you additionally get some pattern from the layering. You know, I can show you that in the end when they are all dry, but for now we have to wait. The papers are all dry now and I didn't move them during the drying process. Let's see how they turned out. I can already see the color turned out darker than I wanted it to turn out. That was due to the fact that obviously I used too much coffee in the water. But that's okay, and you will see that the papers turn out lighter in between. So this was a bigger sheet of paper. I don't know, this was obviously some kind of normal copy paper quality. And I crumpled it up while it was wet. And then you get those marks here and the irregular pattern. And of course you can now iron it. I don't know yet if I will do that. And after I had crumpled it up, I added some more coffee water on top. And that's where those darker marks here came from. I think for now I don't want to iron it. I can still do that when I know what I exactly want to do with these two papers. And then we have the envelopes. And that was exactly what I wanted to say when I told you that I like to keep my papers in the pile when they are wet and that I don't want to lay them down individually on my bedsheet or on the tablecloth, because you get these marks from the layering. And I absolutely love this sound. Here you can see it as well. There was an envelope, approximately like so. And you have this print, you can say, this print from the envelope. You can see the flap here. And I love that. And you can immediately see the papers in between, or the back sides, are usually a little bit lighter in color than the ones on top. So to be honest, this is nothing spectacular. This is just a basic, messy coffee dyeing process. So I will separate the papers and I will show you some of my highlights in the end. Okay, my favorites are the envelopes. I don't know, but they are very, very grungy and turned out very irregular in the intensity of the coffee color. And if you know me, you know that I love to combine vintage colors with neon colors, and I already think they are a perfect base for further projects and for more layers of acrylic paint, I guess. I really envision some neon pink splatters on them, and that would already make me very, very happy, I guess. Then I love these index cards, very grungy. These are very, you know, simple, I guess. These were some bigger sheets. Is this DIN A3? Yes, I guess. Nothing spectacular, but just a little bit of this coffee color. Very subtle. I love it. This is the whole pile. Oh, this is a very dark one. And then I think my absolute favorites are the ones that have a certain texture and a certain sound when you touch them. This is some kind of tissue paper, and usually when you coffee dye those tissue papers, they are very crinkly and have, yeah, you know, that special feel. And I'm always in love with them. As well as this paper, vellum. This is some kind of very, very thin paper. I don't know exactly what this was. Love it. The sewing pattern, love that as well. Some very thin tissue paper. This is, for example, perfect as a layer on a collage piece. You can add some matte gel medium, add this tissue paper on top, crumble it up a little bit, and you have a great texture and a light, you know, color on that layer. Love that. This is a paper bag. Also in love with. Oh, can't get enough of these sounds. I think this is the most basic process that you can you know, do with your papers. And yeah, I hope you had fun with this video. And some of you who watched my latest video messaged me that they would love to see how I make these collage strips. So I think I will now film my process about it. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I hope I can see you in my next video. Bye!